Hello everybody. Before we get started, as always, want to give a shout out to the lovely music we've been listening to during pre-stream here. This is Retro by Declan DP. You can find their information in the credits section of my Twitch page. Thank you to Declan and everybody like them who makes other free to use or low cost assets for us streamers so we can have better streams. Thank you very much. Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever it is in your part of the world. I am Deuscain, your variety type streamer for the night. And tonight, we are returning to Vampire Therapist, a fun, silly little visual novel that I've been playing about a week now. We're 2 streams in, but it's a good time. We are almost done with the second round of treatments for our patients, and things are getting spicy and interesting.
Let's go.
So yeah, really looking forward to seeing what the game has in store for us next. But before we do that, as always, gonna do a little bit of just chatting. So, hey everybody, how are you? Hope you're doing well. I'm having like an okay night. Like I had a pretty good Monday at work, though I did capstone my workday by taking what should have been 40 minutes of training, turned out to be close to an hour of training because one part of it is literally just like, hey, go to this site and read this entire document. I'm like, this is 23 pages. They're like, yep, but by signing this training, or by affirming at the end of this training, you are affirming that you've read this entire document. It's like, well, lovely. How wonderful. I love this. So, yeah. Not the most happy with that. But I got it done. I have 2 more trainings to do. I think one is due by the end of the month and one is due sometime next month. But I might do those sometime tomorrow or later this week because I had a little while to get some of them done. But I've managed to mostly catch up at work, so it's like a bunch of busy work stuff now or training. So I'll get to it. But other than that, pretty good day today. Went out to go get something for lunch. This is a little bit funny. Had to get gas, and then while I was out getting gas, I'm like, hey, I was very sleepy this morning. I brought my bundle of plastic bags with me when I got out of the car at work this morning. So I'll run these out over lunchtime. I'll take them somewhere and throw them in a recycling bin. Because usually they have them at like local grocery stores. So I dropped that off and I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm in this shopping area. I'm going to stop by this one pizza place that I like to go to. It's been a while since I've been there. And I walk there and they're closed. And I'm trying to figure it out. And eventually figured out that like they're just always closed on Monday. So I went somewhere else and got a sandwich, which was supposed to be a French dip, which is an American sandwich that has like a whole bunch of cheese and stuff. And you're supposed to, it's mostly known for having like a little bowl of broth they serve it with. You dump the sandwich in to make it like kind of like wet and juicy, but like warm and tasty and brothy, and it's really good. They didn't give me the broth with this. They gave me a bowl or a cup of French onion soup, and I'm like, what? Why is this here? They're like, oh, it comes with your sandwich. I'm like, okay. So I had a French dip sandwich that was not a French dip sandwich. It had all the ingredients in it, but I'm just like, I can't dip my sandwich. I'm sad. So yeah, so I did 2 of my errands at lunchtime. Did not eat at the place I wanted, and the place I did go to, I got a sandwich that was not the sandwich I thought it was going to be. So, oops. And then to top it all up, as I'm leaving, not the sandwich, I know pickles. They took my sandwich. But then to top it all off, as I was leaving, apparently that's when they were getting their weekly shipment of food, and give you one guess whose car the delivery truck parked behind. Thankfully, I wasn't as bad as somebody else, and I had enough room to like pull out and like go by the delivery truck. The truck wasn't too horribly parked, but it was not good. It was very not good. So yeah, I had a bit of a busy lunch, but other than that, like, I was able to get most of my quota for work for the day done like in the morning. Made some progress on a couple new things, which is always nice. And yeah, the afternoon was kind of quiet. I closed out one other thing. I think I disassociated for a while, as is my wont in the afternoons. I don't know what it is. I've always been like a better morning person than I am like an afternoon person. Like usually I'll be fine until you get a little bit of food in me. And then like once I get that, it's just carb coma. Like from like 1:30 until like 3 o'clock, I'm usually just out of it. It's the worst time of day for me for any kind of productivity, especially at work. I am so out of it. I just cannot focus. I am just happy and full of food and cannot be bothered to do anything. I don't know why. And it's not even this job, because it's been like that way for me like my entire adult career, like working career. The afternoons are always the worst time for me. I don't know why. But like I said, got my training done. It was at least a little bit productive. So let's go. Had a fairly good day otherwise. Ugh. And aside from that, had a decent weekend. Did not get quite as much done as I wanted to. But also, I think I kind of just like crashed and relaxed most of Saturday. And did a fair bit of disassociating. But I had a really good Sunday for getting stuff done and being productive. Because I think I washed 2 loads of laundry. I put away 2 loads of laundry, but I had like a third left over from last week. So, did that. And then I also moved a bit of furniture back from my crap in January, which I'm still dealing with now. But it's just been like all the major stuff is done now. So it's like I finally moved the TV back in the living room. The TV that I don't use. Because I apparently didn't use it for a month. So now, like, I'd have to rewire everything for the TV, which I have to like keep a cubby hole open in the bookshelf there, because it's like an IKEA one that has like just a straight up hole in it. There's no back, so basically I need to leave a cubby hole open so I can do the rewiring on everything. And it's one of those things like I don't feel like crawling around behind this. Most of this stuff is things I don't use. Like I need to reconnect my PS5. I need to reconnect my record player. I don't use them that often. They're not a priority. I'm probably not even going to hook my Switch back up because, like, I don't use it. So, just, yeah. But, yeah, a little bit of a shame. Did see they had that new Pokemon Leaf Green and Fire Red come out. I was debating getting those a little bit. The only downside is the, like, I know I have so many other things I'm working on right now that I don't think I really have time to play Pokemon. Also, one of the things I threw out this weekend was my old capture card. Because, Lord have mercy, I do not use it. And it's also like an old Elgato capture card, which is a terrible capture card. They're really not good. They're very easy to like connect to everything, but they are not easy. They're not fun to use. The software they want you to use with it is just kind of a piece of shit. At least from my experience dealing with it a while ago. Maybe it's changed a little bit now, but it was not fun when I was using them. So, yeah. Let's go. But yeah, I mean, that was kind of the big stuff I did this weekend. A couple of chores and things around the house. Saturday was kind of just a relax and veg day. I don't think I watched anything major. Oh, I know what I was watching Saturday. Had a new episode of a podcast that I like came out. Versus Wolves. Starring Woolly Versus and Eye Patch Wolf. Because they do like, I think they described it as the most powerful book club on the internet, in which they rarely recommend books to each other, but it's usually like, hey, here's this piece of media or culture. Check it out. I really like it. It's pretty cool and stuff. And that is neat, but they also have times when like some really weird things like get put up against each other because it's really just one person's recommendation against another. So I think like one time it was like Jujutsu Kaisen versus Caribbean food. I don't even think I'm joking about that. Let me actually look. Was it Jujutsu Kaisen versus Caribbean food?
Let's go.
Versus Wolves podcast. What was it? Where is it? There it is. No, it was Jujutsu Kaisen versus boxing. But then the follow-up episode of that was Jujutsu Kaisen: The Shibuya Incident versus Twin Peaks versus Caribbean food. Because they had done Jujutsu Kaisen previously, and they're like, hey, we want to watch this big, like, chaos arc in the story. But also we need to do our other recommendations, which is Twin Peaks and Caribbean food. Which is a wild, like, three-way split of stuff that they'd have to do. Yeah. They had one that was like a movie episode where one guy had to watch the Vengeance trilogy, which was, Old Boy, Lady Vengeance, and, is it Justice for Mr. Vengeance or something like that? Versus the other guy who had to watch all of the Leprechaun movies. I don't know why, but that was a thing. Yeah. But no, the episode this time was Bloodborne PSX, which is the Bloodborne demake, where they take Bloodborne from the PS3 and like make it look and run like it would like a PlayStation 1 game. And then the other guy had to go and like do a bunch of research on liminal spaces because that's what they wanted to focus on. So yeah. I forget what they're doing this time. The one guy has to do, Wooly has to do Fear and Hunger 2. And I'm trying to remember what Eye Patch Wolf has to do next time. I honestly don't remember the recommendation. It wasn't anything too crazy. But it's definitely a good time. Like, I enjoy their podcasts because they get into some weird stuff and weird comparisons sometimes, and it's a good time. But yeah, that was like my Saturday morning, and then Saturday afternoon was just kind of me chilling and relaxing.
Let's go.
But I did check out the new Monster Hunter content that came out on the 28th as well. Figure that's worth mentioning. Did not really like it. I don't like those like super hard quests that they put in at the very end of an expansion, which are like, hey, by the way, if you're not perfect, this thing one-shots you. And I'm like, well, that's not very fun. And for it being Rompopolo, who has a bunch of AoE explosions, it's really not fun. So I just like, nah, I'm good. I'll just not fight this thing. I fought it once. I thought I was doing really well until it knocked me down, and then I came back and it knocked me down almost immediately again. And I'm like, oh, I see what this is like. Okay. That's what we're doing here. Gotcha. This is just to make me feel sad and unhappy about my life. Gotcha. So yeah, I have no interest in pursuing it any further. I actually uninstalled Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm just like, yeah, this is like the last thing that they're gonna do for content for this game for a while. Like, they're not going to be releasing new monsters. Like, they're going to add a 10-star Zoshia. They're going to add a 10-star Gogmathios, but like, they're not going to give you better rewards. Not really. Like, I figure they're going to give you similar stuff to what the Arkfell did, which is just like that, like, filler currency that's meant to, like, fill in the gaps and, like, help you level other stuff fast. But it's just, I'm at a point where all I'm doing is grinding, like, those tier, like, certificates you get for, like, tiers of monsters. And And I'm just grinding them for like skins for weapons. Because I have all of my armor. And I could grind for like armor spheres, but like that's just kind of boring for me. So since it doesn't really appeal to me, I'm just like, yeah, no. I'm gonna rip it off the computer and save some disk space. And then, ironically, I also took a look at my storage drive, and my storage drive was getting pretty full. So I desynced my my VOD folder from the storage drive and recovered like a terabyte of hard disk space. I have maybe a few VODs stored on my my cloud service, so whoopsie.
Let's go.
So I'll have to do something with them because they are definitely taking up way too much space. I don't know. I was debating sending some off to my editor because he recently started offering a service for VOD scrubbing. It's a little bit pricey per hour, but I'm kind of curious to let him have a crack at it to see if he does a good job, because I like his editing and we work together enough that like I think it might be worth giving him a chance. But yeah, it's just a little bit pricey. And I also need to figure out like what game I want them to like scrub, because I've got most of my old VODs. I did unfortunately have to clear out the Persona 5 VODs because that was way too much content. Like that was literally just tons and tons and tons. Like it's a 30-40 VOD game. Like it's a ton. Honestly, even Expedition 33 I probably ought to clear out because that's only about 200 gigs. Really, that's only 200 gigs. That's surprising. I thought that would be more. Is Steel Rising? No, Steel Rising's not that much. Little Guardsman, Hades 2. Chained Echoes, maybe?
Let's go.
No, Chained Echoes is like 12. I'm really surprised Expedition 33 isn't more. But I guess if you put it all together, then yeah, it does eventually combine to be a pretty big disk space size. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm up to these days. I did not use it on the new schedule yet, but we are getting ready to shift over to the new spring art. So if you want to check out the Discord, we have the wallpaper over there. So yeah, gonna make that available. Or I think it's already available there, but I'm gonna actually start using it places pretty soon, which is always fun. I like getting new art, and I love working with that artist. They do a pretty good job. And then the summer art is already ordered. I might get something else in the meantime, because 3 months is a little long, but I'm just not sure what I want to do yet. But I'm honestly already at a point where I'm like, I should probably start thinking about Halloween. Because, like, that's the problem with me of, like, I'm trying to, like, cut down on the number of streaming projects I'm doing so I can, like, focus up and do more meaningful ones. But at the same time, I'm very project-oriented, and if I have no projects, I'm noticing I'm going a little insane. And, like, thinking, like, well, I can spend that money elsewhere on other... Like, no, save the money. Save the money. Halloween already? I'm thinking about it. Because, like, any Halloween stuff, I want to get, like, art in, and for some people, like, that's a multi-month wait, depending on who I go to and what I order. Like, the one I was using in, the Trimmy one that I got in January, that was a 6-month order. Like, I hope I don't have to do that for Halloween, but, like, I am considering it, depending on who I'm looking for. And depending on what I want, I might like need to go to one person to like design my costume for the character, and then another person to make a PNG model for it. and then somebody to do art. So yeah, it's potentially 3 commissions. So yeah, he's a lot.
Let's go.
Delightful. I mean, it can be. It's just I'm still trying to like figure out like the feedback loop I should do as a VTuber, because like last year was a lot of just like I'm getting everything all at once, just as I am, just a pure creature of id, just absolutely like eating it up. And I'm trying to be smarter with my purchases this year and be like, okay, what do I actually need? Like what am I getting that's actually going to be valuable? Like, should I get a stinger? Should I get one commission I put in, which I might end up actually canceling because I've never heard back from this person. But like I want to get some new background music that's like my own custom background music that I have like full rights to. But I don't have that. So yeah. It's just a lot to think about. So, but the unfortunate thing is when you have a lot of ideas, you're like, okay, cool, we'll action these 3 ideas. Oh, each of these ideas is $500. I put them all in at once. This was foolish of me. I should have spread this out over several months. Excited regardless? Exactly. Like, I think it'll be a good time. So, anyway, we've been chatting for a good bit, so let's switch over to the game and get started. There we are. There we go. So for those who missed it last time, we did the last person in our first round. So our four patients are Dr. Drain, who showed up for a drug addiction. Signora, which you can actually see Signora right here. She showed up because she's having like what amounts to a crisis of faith, but she's kind of like she's a Renaissance woman who supported art and supported culture and tried to make the world a better place, and her crisis of faith is, oh god, I live in a world where they make shitty Star Wars movies. Oh, what have I done with my life? Nothing of value. So she's kind of freaked out about that. There is an actor who hates critics and hates being criticized and is not having a good time. And then we met the 4th and final one last time, which is Medi, or Meb, which I think is probably like the historical reference to like Queen Mab, like the fairy queen. But she's like, yeah, I'm an Irish bog witch vampire. I was chased out of my bog by humans, so I went off to become a streamer. And she's kind of a bit agoraphobic, because she doesn't want to leave the house because she doesn't feel safe. But she keeps convincing people to show up and basically feed themselves to her. But yeah, she's a little murder happy too. So, but yeah, we did round 2 with Drain, round 2 with Signora, and round 2 with the actor. I think the actor was mostly kind of normal. Signora, we broke down into a little bit of like a lot of her problems like come from like her upbringing and her like belief in virtue and how it was kind of immediately smashed by the men of her time. And then Dr. Drain was my favorite one because I'm just like, yeah, no, it's just a doctor guy with an addiction issue. That's simple enough. He just kind of needs to relax and let loose. No, full on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We met Dr. Drain. His alter ego is Lord Lurid. Or Luridus, that's what it was, I think. And yeah, no, he's a trip and a half. So yeah, I'm curious what Meb is gonna be, because we're like, hey, yeah, just go for a walk in the neighborhood. Just take a walk outside. It'll be fine. Just get out and get some fresh air. But she's like 2,000 years old, so. And he's saying, good evening, Samuel. I believe you're seeing the Ancient One tonight, aren't you?
Ancient One? She's 1,200 years younger than you, Andy.
I suppose I was engaging in a bit of labeling myself. You are, of course, correct. Still, her age presents a unique challenge. After one lives for 1,000 years, history seems less a line than a fixed point.
Thank you for the lurk stress.
Speaking of which, I imagine you can guess what distortion an old one such as Medi might fixate upon.
Nosferatu
It's
thinking?
Nosferatu thinking. Medi's seen so much history that mortals can only be one way or another for her.
You are not incorrect. She does indeed paint the world with a very old, broad brush. But her true distortion is more specific.
Okay, so she is overgeneralization.
It's gotta be overgeneralization. She really is basing all her opinions on her experiences when she was alive.
Very good, Samuel. I heard tales of her island in my time, but they were never peaceful tales. I am not surprised she finds safety in her narrative. What other distortions do you think Medi might exhibit?
Okay. So we're going to grab labeling. We're going to grab should statements, because I keep seeing those pop up. Nosferatu thinking is a variation of... Overgeneralization is a variation of Nosferatu thinking. So we're going to go with disqualifying the positive and control fallacy. Let's see if I can do these.
Good to go, boss.
Then I will leave you to it. Good luck, my friend.
Hello again, strange cowboy man.
I'm Eddie.
It's good to see you again, Mitty. How's the past month been for you?
Went for a walk, just like you suggested. Didn't like it very much.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. What was so unpleasant about it?
It's very loud outside, and dirty, and smelly. Everywhere I walked, it smelled like mortal food, which is disgusting.
Hi, J-Log.
They knew how good it felt to drink blood. Maybe they would not eat so much of this pizza food.
Oh, wow. She's hating on pizza.
There's so many cars, too. I don't like cars. They have hateful faces. They look so angry all the time.
I mean, cars are hateful at times, yes. She's not technically wrong.
Stepped in a wee, killed 7 men, and got splashed by a bus. It's really quite awful.
Wait! She stepped in urine, killed 7 men, and got splashed by a bus. What a pizza. I mean, she's 2,000 years old. Like, pizza, she did not know pizza until she was an ancient one. But, wait, why'd you kill 7 men?
You killed 7 men? How the heck did that happen?
Oh, that. It was inconvenient, you know. Normally I have my zealots do that kind of thing for me. They take care of the bodies.
Congrats on the Houndour, Pickles.
But I had to do all that silly work myself. And now there are always police sirens going off, which interrupts my streams and makes my followers very sad.
Why did that all happen?
Because they found the bodies everywhere, silly. I don't know what to do with my rubbish.
I meant why the killing. You didn't happen to make a few assumptions based on past experiences? Why kill a bunch of men?
Oh, well, they looked at me. I know what mortals who look at me are like. If I let them live, they'd probably try to burn me as a witch. I could do nothing but kill them.
Okay. That's an overgeneralization.
Hold on a sec. You know what mortals who look at you are like. How do you know? Are you reading their minds?
I don't have to read their minds, sweetling. I have known manlings for a very long time.
I get what you're saying. But here in this room, at least, we gotta be honest with ourselves. Do you really know what they were thinking?
Silly mouseling. I do not need to know what a wolf is thinking to know what a wolf is.
Does that mean every wolf you see is gonna try to eat you?
We don't have wolves anymore. They're all gone now.
So maybe you can see where that kind of thinking can be a problem. It was scared people who killed all them wolves, right? Now I know that thinking doesn't come from nowhere. Old as you are, I'm sure you've seen some real awful stuff.
That's right. Haven't killed you, though. You are kind, little mouse.
Well, let's lay off the mouse stuff a little.
I'm sorry. Don't wish for you to scurry away into a little hole. Do you want to hear why I feel the way I do?
Yes, tell me your story.
I would appreciate it greatly, miss.
Let me tell you about men from my time, then. Let's start with me da.
Yeah, daddy
My father
issues.
sold me and my mother to a chief of a rival clan for a golden necklace.
Huh, you're wearing a gold necklace.
That is just horrifying.
Oh, don't fuss, sweetling. It was the most beautiful golden necklace. At least 2 girls' worth. My father got quite a deal, really.
You're using humor, but I'm sure that must have been heartbreaking for you.
It was common at the time. I suppose I should have been glad to be the possession of an old chief.
That's a should
Who
statement.
should is that, matey?
Why, everyone thought that. They were ever so surprised when I ran away. Did wish I could feel the way they felt, but I simply could not.
Mm-hmm.
I think most of us vampires had it rough as kids. Maybe most kids have it rough. I don't know. But the one thing I do know is that kids don't come with the same shoulds their parents have got. I think we're learning all them shoulds ended up being a load of horse shit anyway.
I knew girls who did as they were told. They would have been thrilled to have been the concubine of a powerful chief. But, oh, he was so old. Cormac O'Neill, the oldest man I had ever seen. I remember thinking, where is his face? Because I could not see it under all his disgusting wrinkles.
I'm gonna have to look up that name because it's probably something relevant. Cormac Neal. Yeah, it keeps coming up with like appears in historical Irish manuscripts, specifically within the battles involving Irish forces against the English. Early Irish historical text. So he's a historical character, but not one that I directly recognize.
Whew. How old was the guy?
38.
That was pretty old in your time, huh? Wish I'd died at 38. Could have been a better looking corpse.
Well, he left an awful looking corpse. His face was all.
I'm guessing you had something to do with that, huh?
Not me. My boyfriend, Abertach. He told me he'd set me free. I suppose he did. He created a delightful poison for me. He said it would make my dear master die in excruciating pain.
Ah, you're a poisoner.
So, one night I lay with him, and that means I did sex. And when he was pleased, I fed him the poison mead. Abby did what I couldn't, and the old fool finally died.
Okay. She's not overgeneralizing. I don't think she's labeling. She's not doing a should statement. Is it disqualifying the positive? Like Abby did what I couldn't. I don't know, that's...
You're saying your boyfriend killed your husband, but it sounds to me like you did the real work.
Control fallacy, yeah, okay.
He mixed up some herbs, sure, but you were the one that had to sleep with the old man and get the poison in him.
Abby made sure I knew it was because of him that I was free. He said it could never have happened without him.
That's just somebody else trying to influence you and put control on you.
He didn't have to be brave to mix up a potion. I think the bravery was all you, Mitty. Don't disqualify the idea that the person who set you free was you.
You know, I think you're absolutely right, strange cowboy man. I did do all the work. But Abby never let me forget that he was the one who freed me. He wanted me to worship him.
A fella who demands to be worshipped is always going to be a dangerous man.
Agreed.
Dangerous men have always been drawn to me. Must be something about the way I am.
This is something I missed.
So what happened after you killed Cormac?
The Neil clan came after me and Abby. They found him, took their swords and went, stab, stab,
That's a
stabby,
very
stab, stab.
strange expression while telling the story.
But Abby just laughed. That's how I found out he was undead already. Gave me the willies. When they couldn't kill Abby, they decided to kill me instead. And that made him very upset indeed, because I belonged to him.
That must have been terrifying.
I suppose. Mostly hurt. Lots and lots. Getting stabbed isn't much fun when you're immortal.
I ain't too fond of it as a vampire neither.
Abby fed me his blood, though, and then I became like him. When I woke up, the Neil clan who tried to kill us were all properly dead.
Okay, so that's how she turned.
Well, almost dead. They still had a lot of blood left, and I was hungry. The Neil clan was ever so cross, though. They captured Abby and sealed him in a tomb with some forgotten spells. He's still there as far as I know.
What happened to you?
I didn't have a future with my tribe. I insulted both my clan and Cormac's clan by killing their chief. My only choice was to be alone. That's the wisest choice.
Okay. It's not disqualifying the positive. It's not a should statement. I mean, they said she overgeneralizes. Nope.
Betty seems to think in extremes, not uncommon for one as ancient as she is. She had more power in her situation than she can admit.
I
reckon you've always had more power than you think. I mean, being immortal's a pretty good start. Heck, you were savvy enough to get out of that whole situation with Cormac. I think you always had options, Mitty.
All right.
You are kind to say so. I guess maybe it's better to say there was only one choice I wanted to take.
That's still good, though.
Then I think that was the right choice to make.
If you didn't have all of those whiskers, I would pinch those cheeks.
Okay, time to stop teasing poor Sam. So you've been living alone ever since then? Well, let's focus on you, huh? You say you've been living alone ever since then?
Small glitch.
Of course, my silly cowboy man. We aren't mortal anymore. We will always end up alone. Why waste my time?
Always end up alone. Yeah, that's an overgeneralization. Nope.
Again, Betty deals in extremes. Long life often makes one's interpretation of life stark.
Of course.
Come on, Mitty. You're distorting a lot of reality there. All vampires ain't lonely. Some of us choose to be, but not all of us. Sure, mortals have a habit of dying, but there will always be more of them. Not to mention all the vampires out there. Heck, I used to be in a vampire gang. Cult. Well, kind of both. They weren't good company, but they certainly weren't lonely. I mean, ain't we talking? Well, there's loads of vampires out there who think like you do, and they're fulfilling their own prophecies of loneliness.
You're being a mean little mouse now, and I don't like it very much. Maybe I should have killed you after all.
I'm trying to help you, Mitty. The world's changed a lot in the last 1800 years. A lot of it bad, but a lot of it good too. By and large, most people ain't burning witches and selling their daughters. That sort of thing's frowned upon by mortals these days. There are laws out there to protect folks now. It ain't like in old times.
May I tell you a story, little mouse?
Sure.
All right, tell me a story.
Once upon a time, there was a very pretty young lady. Pretty, but also crazy. Like me.
You're not crazy.
I don't mean to interrupt your story so soon, but you didn't think I was going to let you get away with that one, did you? Don't call yourself crazy. You've been around way longer than I have. You gotta know that sanity is relative.
I know I'm crazy, though. Everyone tells me so, even my zealots. They like that I'm crazy.
You know, crazy ain't supposed to be a nice word. So why are you using it? Why are you creating a reality where what you are is crazy?
You are an annoying little mouse sometimes. Very well. I won't call myself crazy in front of you.
It's a start.
May I continue my story now? The pretty young lady Mary had moved in with her cousin, Mrs. Hultridge. At first they got along quite well. But one day, Mary started acting naughty. She would shout, act unladylike, and even say that Jesus Christ wasn't very special.
Huh.
Mrs. Hultridge liked Jesus Christ very much and wanted Mary to like him too. When she didn't, this embarrassed Mrs. Hultridge. She began to think something was wrong with Mary. After all, who didn't like Jesus Christ? Mrs. Hultridge said that Mary had begun to vomit up pins and buttons, nails, glass, and bits of wool.
Huh.
Instead of being grateful for the free gifts Mary was vomiting up, Mrs. Hultridge said that she had been attacked by 8 witches in spectral form. Now, it just so happened that all 8 of those witches lived very close to the town where Mrs. Hultridge lived.
Uh-huh.
Despite their magical prowess, the 8 witches were captured and put into the stocks, and all the people of the town were told that the women did not like Jesus Christ at all. So the Jesus Christ-liking people threw rotten vegetables and poo at the witches. And, just for fun, they gouged out the eye of one of them. Then they kicked the witches out of town and lived happily ever after. The end.
What happened to Mary?
That ain't a pleasant story.
Oh, it was very unpleasant. It hurts very much to have your eye taken away. But I like my new eye. It's fun.
Huh.
I was 1500 summers old or so when that happened. The world hadn't changed much then. I don't think it's changed much now.
It has changed a lot in the last 500 years. Also, why is your eye still gone?
I'm sorry that happened to you, Meddy. You're right. Folk can be pretty awful when they get riled up. That ain't changed.
Oh, don't be sorry, little mouse. I like my new eye. Also, the story has a happy ending.
Oh yeah? What's that?
After I had my eye taken away, I took Mrs. Hultridge's parts away too, one by one until she died. It was so much fun.
Yeah. I'm inclined to think that she's maybe a bit extreme, but not entirely in the wrong, because that lady's like, yeah, my niece is vomiting up pins and buttons. I should kill these 8 women.
That's a little morbid, Meddy.
Morbid Mary? Oh, I like that. That's very clever, little mouse. But you see why I'm careful now?
Yeah, I get it. But look, there's one thing that's different now, and that's...
What we're doing right now?
It's what we're doing right now. In all that time up till now, therapy ain't never existed. We only just started looking at ourselves in the way we think. Before recent times, we only looked at gods, government, and society. The self is a new frontier, and we're learning stuff we never considered before. The frontier can be kind of scary, but being on that frontier means moving forward. Come with me.
Silly mouse. If something feels scary, that means that there must be something to be scared of.
I know you've been through a lot and you got damn good reasons for being careful. But there's a reason you came to me, right?
Yes, but it wasn't because I wanted to go outside. It's because of my fans. They're very demanding.
Right. That's why we were talking about your going for walks and went down this rabbit hole.
Or, in your case, a mouse hole.
Behind a mouse hole.
Anyway, therapy usually ain't about just one thing. It's about lots of things. If the problem is your fans, we gotta imagine unlife without them, right?
Don't want to lose them all. Some of them are gentle. They're too weak to hurt anyone, which is why they don't.
What the hell am I supposed to tear apart here? Like, I think that's an overgeneralization. It's not a shit statement, but
You really think weak people would hurt others if they were stronger?
Little mouse, I've been alive for a long time. I believe what my eye shows me. Yes, if one is capable of hurting another, they do.
They can, but they don't always. You ever seen them capybara animals?
capybara?
They're dang massive rodents and could do some damage if they wanted to, I reckon.
Oh, yes! Oh, they're very cute. People like to share animated pictures of them in my community.
Some folk are like that. They just want to sit around and have someone scratch their bellies.
Is that what you want, little mouse? Do you want me to scratch your belly?
What? No, I'm just saying, don't assume everyone's out to hurt someone. Yeah, it happens. Of course it does. But that kind of thinking ain't giving folks their fair shot.
Don't know what I'll do if I don't have my followers. I can't live the way I used to before the machines took over.
Yeah.
They expect so much of me now. They send me messages all night and all day. They need content. God, if I don't give them their content, they'll all leave. Their attention spans are like those of little bugs, but they're not as cute.
Okay, I think we need to talk about moderation.
Oh, I already have moderators, silly mouse. Any major content creator has to have them.
I don't know what that stuff means. I'm talking about moderation in your thinking. What if you gave your fans only what you felt comfortable giving?
Doesn't matter what I want, silly mouse. They just want me to overreact to video games.
Doesn't matter what I want.
Mitty, you're thinking that mortals want only one type of content is forcing you to make only one type of content.
I mean, he's spitting some truth here.
Your assumptions are keeping you from doing things you like, and you deserve to do things you actually enjoy.
You're very kind. I thought cowboys were supposed to be tough.
Who says I ain't? I just don't have nothing to prove no more. Here, why don't we try something new for next time, since going out didn't go so well last time. I want to challenge you to take a day off. Don't answer any messages, don't post no content. Just do something for you and you alone. Take a sick day.
But we never get sick. We're dead people.
They don't know that, do they? One day, that's all I'm asking for. You need to give yourself a little space.
Exactly.
Very well. Since you've been a very kind mouse, I'll do it for you.
I'd prefer it if you did it for you, but we'll work toward that, huh?
Oh, I wish I had a big piece of cheese to give to you right now.
God, she really does just...
A lactose intolerance is kind of a side effect of death, but I appreciate the sentiment. I'll see you in a month then, okay?
Yes.
Great. I'll see you then.
Bye.
You are doing well, my friend. I know we old ones can be rather inscrutable sometimes.
All right. So we've got 3 minutes till the ad break. I'm going to tap out for that now, just so that we don't get interrupted with Andy or the rest of this. But be back in about 3 minutes, folks.
Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
All right, everybody, we are back. Let's hop back in. And yes, thank you for the hydrate, Pickles. So we just finished Medi's second session. Andy's saying, hope you're doing well, my friend. I know the old ones can be rather inscrutable sometimes.
She's human. We all are, ain't we? The way I see it, we all got the same problems one way or another.
Your wisdom never fails to impress, Samuel. I believe it is time for you to follow your own advice to Miss Medi, however. All work and no play makes for a dull vampire, as they say.
Yeah, you're probably right. I might hit the hay early and do a bit of reading.
If you must take out some aggression on Hay, then please do so. I shall see you soon, my friend.
Good night, Andy. Dang, I wonder how I'll feel about humanity when I'm 1800. Heck, I wonder whether there'll even be a planet. I guess it's time to drown my existential woes in blood.
Nice, Sam.
Howdy there, Crimson.
You're sounding a little weary there, cowboy. You getting enough to drink these nights?
Oh yeah, that ain't it. Just existential ponderings.
That's just my specialty. What's eating you, buckaroo?
It's this old client I got. She's been watching humanity hurting itself for 1,800 years. Every time she expected better, she got hurt. She ain't wrong to mistrust mortals.
That's a tough one. What do you do with someone like that?
Well, I tried to guide her to look inward like I do with everyone. People are people, but so is she.
How do you think she took it?
I'm hoping pretty well.
I think she appreciated the focus on her. I can't answer for all humanity, but maybe she can get answers from herself.
I think you could stand to listen to yourself, Ranchero. You could have been a mean old Dracula and nobody would expect anything different from you. Reckon there have always been people like you, no matter how bad it's been in history.
Dang, Crimson. I can see why Andy respects you so much. You done some living, sounds like.
Death at the door can put things into perspective. I get where your client is coming from.
Yeah.
Changing the world isn't gonna happen, but we can at least change ourselves.
I don't think that's true. The country I left definitely ain't the country I was born in.
The wheels turn a little slowly for us mortals, cowboy. Back in DC, I was trying to push policy to do something about our poverty problem, but the kind gentlemen across the street were pretty happy to make things worse. When I got my cancer diagnosis, that was my wake-up call to stop getting disappointed and start living with the little amount of time I had left.
Working at a bar is more rewarding than being a member of the bar, huh?
Not bad, cowboy. It's got its charms. Here, I whipped up something special for you.
That ain't half bad. Got a refreshing taste.
Rose hips. Just a little something extra. Been experimenting with some herbals for Andy.
Guess old dogs like us can still learn new tricks. Thanks, Crimson. I think I'll hit the hay now.
Hi, Fend. Happy Monday. Hope you're having a good night. Damn hot outfit. Thank you. Thank you.
You hit that hay, Desperado. I'll see you later.
Got a lot on my mind tonight. I think I need some rest. Now, what should I do to relax?
Watch a man get his bum burned with a hot iron. Let's watch some Three Stooges.
I sure am grateful that Andy has some classic cinema to watch in here. Now, this is a good one. That's enough for one night. Time to visit Dreamland. Maybe I'll see my princess there.
Yeah, I'm going to turn that off before I get any kind of copyright claim or anything like that.
Samuel, my dear, I do look forward to our chats. How are you feeling tonight?
I gotta confess, boss, I'm a little down. I love helping other vampires, but getting therapy myself sometimes ain't much fun.
I understand. Looking in the mirror is difficult for any human, much more so when they don't cast a reflection.
Very true, Andy.
You ain't kidding. It just seems like there's always work to do, you know? Like my walking in the woods for 90 years wasn't nearly enough time.
I mean, you're not done with your journey, but you made great strides in starting it.
I dare say you are correct. I believe that we must never cease our walking in the woods. There is no mystery deeper than that of our own existence.
Where do vampires come from anyway?
Well, Samuel, when two vampires love each other very much,
Come on, boss, that's not what I'm asking. Where do we come from?
the answer to that is much older than recorded history, my friend. But let us focus on you. We should start with some meditation and determine what thoughts are most important to you right now. Close your eyes and envision your place of comfort.
I ain't good at being a therapist. Is my hat weird? Ich bin Sam. Ich bin un... Election looks real bad back home. Dr. Drain thinks I'm brain damaged. Why'd my mama have to marry that asshole? When's the sunrise? The Senora hates my guts. Sure wish you were still here, Jeb. Actors need help, that's for dang sure. Wish I had more book smarts. Bet he scares the heck out of me. You're an idiot, Sam, hurting all them folk. Why'd I join up with a gang in the first place?
How are you feeling, my friend?
Pretty good. I gotta say, my head's been a mess of thoughts lately. I think I was afraid of therapy today.
Why is that, my friend? What thoughts came up?
Well, after last time, I think I was stewing a bit. Just being real angry at myself for joining that nasty cult in the first place.
They preyed on the vulnerable, as cults tend to do. If you had been a man of means with a robust support system, I doubt they would have noticed you.
Yeah, I know. And honestly, I'm mad about that too. I mean, my country did me real wrong and put me in that sorry state to begin with.
This sounds like a proverbial can of worms.
Yeah, you could definitely say that. After we talked last time, I kept thinking, what could I have done differently? And the answer amounts to horse shit. All that lawbreaking I did, all that murdering and stealing and doing no good, that was my country failing me.
I mean, that's externalizing things a bit too much.
Let us slow down, Samuel. You are making a bit of a logical leap. I have great admiration and empathy for you, my friend, but it is disrespectful to those you hurt to blame anyone but yourself.
I mean, I guess I could have died. Suppose that would have been kinder, but that's a lot to ask a boy to do.
I am not suggesting that you should have died, and I do not suggest that your country was without fault. However, your country had its role, and you had yours. You are using a cognitive distortion called blaming. When we engage in blaming, we ignore or wipe away our own faults, attributing them to someone or something else. Our faults are precious, Samuel. We cannot be ourselves without them. Do not wipe them away.
I mean, I just wish things hadn't been the way they were. If my country had taken a better trail, maybe I would have turned out different.
Differently. I am sorry to interrupt, but Senora Deste might correct you less gently. Now then, perhaps it would help to put blaming into perspective. It is always humbling to see ourselves in the mirrors of our minds, is it not? Let's try some examples. See if you can tell when I am blaming. I turned into a bat the other day and flew right into a tree. Who put that tree there? I was unable to perform in bed with Crimson the other night. It must have been her fault.
Dang, that is some blaming. Takes two to tango, boss. Maybe there's some bad blood brewing between you two. Man, I wish I hadn't heard about it.
Do not worry, my friend. Crimson and I bring each other great satisfaction.
Thanks, I
All right,
guess.
I get it.
I said nothing lurid, Samuel. Why are you so distressed?
Well, singing, great satisfaction. It's like hearing your parents talking about their sex lives. I mean, not that you're... forget I said anything.
All right, Samuel, let us move on. The interface on this widely used new vampire dating app is so modern. How do they expect anyone to use this cursed thing?
Oh, I guess that would be a problem for a vampire dating app. It's too modern. I hate it.
Did you see the football game the other night? My preferred team played with great skill and should have won. The referee was clearly an agent of the Dark Lord.
Blaming?
Now hold on, Andy. I think I saw the game you're talking about, and you're just blaming the ref for your team's mistakes. You got a great tight end, but one that plays a little dirty.
Excuse me?
I didn't mean it like that. Oh, heck, I can't talk right today.
It's quite all right. Isn't getting dirty the point of play? It is the fault of the cursed sun that we must live in darkness.
The sun can't help being the sun, so don't go blaming it. The way I see it, we got our place, and that ain't nobody's fault.
Well done, Samuel. Perhaps the sun is even more brilliant in our memories, and seeing the real thing would spoil it.
Well, that's one way of thinking about it.
There are some blaming distortions you missed in there, my friend. Listen once more. I turned into a bat the other day and flew right into a tree. Who put that tree there?
Was that blaming too?
Blaming someone else, or the tree, for you being clumsy, that ain't gonna do anyone much good. I smacked into my fair share of trees back when I was a youngster, but that was definitely my fault.
Of course, there is no shame in being a novice flyer as a young vampire, but we can be insecure creatures. That's our humanity at work. I was unable to perform in bed with Crimson the other night.
Dang, that is... All right,
I said nothing lurid, Sam.
sing it.
The interface on this widely used new vampire dating app is so modern. How do they expect anyone to use this cursed thing?
Is this blaming too?
Come on now, boss. Not every app out there is designed too good, but we can't expect machines to run themselves. Well, that's some blaming right there.
You are correct, Samuel. It was only hypothetical, of course. I do endeavor to keep up with the times. By the way, thank you again for teaching me Control-V and Control-C the other night. What a delightful trick.
Oh my god, he knows copy-paste now.
Oh yeah, way faster than going through the edit menu all the time.
You youngsters always find the latest tricks. Let's keep going, though.
I think I get it. I ain't trying to erase what I did. I'm just bitter that I felt like I had no choice at all. And it all goes back to the United States taking my daddy away for their manifest destiny. I'm mad at him too. Dying for his country. What kind of nonsense is that? How'd his country pay him back? By making my poor ma marry a drunk who beat the daylights out of her and his kids? Ain't no damn wonder I turned out the way I did.
That must have been devastating, Samuel. Countries are not human. They cannot feel. And stories such as yours prove it.
I mean, what the hell, Andy? My daddy's corpse didn't give a shit about no United States of America. It's kind of funny when you think about it. He died fighting the British so the U.S. could say they own Missouri. Who the fuck cares? I'm telling you, Andy, the best thing about being dead is realizing how little that nationalism crap matters.
Desire for identity can create monsters worse than we. What happened after your father died?
Well, we didn't have nothing. The money was running out, so my ma got married to a hard man who drank even harder. He beat up my older brother, Jeb, for fun. And once Jeb started fighting back, dear old stepdad came for me. And that's when my brother killed him.
It sounds like a tragedy from my own country's mythology. I am sorry that such a thing happened to you, Samuel. Your brother was brave.
No kidding. We went on the run together, but he was the one who kept us alive and fed, mostly through stealing and begging. Once we stopped being cute, begging didn't work anymore, so we moved up to robbing and killing. Killed my first man at 12, and then it got a little too easy.
That is young. I cannot imagine how difficult that must have been, Samuel. My country asked me to kill at 20, and I still remember how devastating it felt.
Sam was killing at 12 and he grew up to be this empathetic. That's impressive.
Yeah, well, nobody told me to do it. Like you said, that was all me. I don't think anyone was surprised either. When my brother and I rode into a town, you should have seen the way people looked at us. They knew we were trouble and we were determined as hell to prove them right.
Aha, a moment, Samuel. I believe this is an opportunity for some growth.
It's them distortions again, huh?
To err is human, as they say. Do not be discouraged. There is something in what you just said that you cannot be sure of. Can you tell me what it is?
I guess there ain't no way of knowing that people thought we were trouble.
That's right, Samuel. There is one way of knowing exactly what they were thinking, and that would be to read their minds. Thus is the cognitive distortion called mind reading. Yes, we can weigh evidence and make predictions, but never with complete certainty.
I was a dirty little thieving murderer. I don't blame him for judging me.
First, that's labeling. Second, one of those people might have been patient and gentle, one that had an experience like yours. You cannot know. With your mind reading, do you see how you made everyone your enemy?
Very true.
Yeah. You're right. You're damn right.
No one expects a child to be perfectly aware of themselves and the world, Samuel. Remember, start with compassion for yourself. Here, let us do an exercise to help you recognize mind reading. Jesus Christ would have disliked the idea of anal intercourse.
What the hell? Andy! Why is that your first example?
I know that's mind reading right there. Unless you asked Jesus Christ himself and he told you, there's no way you'd know how he feels about butt sex.
I agree, Pickles. What the fuck?
Very good, Samuel. Many in my time have claimed to know the mind of Jesus Christ, and none of them have ever even met him.
You were there when he was kicking around. You ever meet him?
No, that part of the world was never really vampire-friendly. The chair you're sitting in is one of his, though. Magnificent, isn't it?
Jesus Christ made this chair?
I bought it cheaply before he became a big deal. He was certainly ahead of his time as a carpenter.
Dang. Now I feel awkward sitting in this thing.
It's more than 2,000 years old, Samuel. It is still just a chair, and it's experienced millennia of past wind. Don't worry about it.
I love the humor in this game.
Crimson is upset with me because I forgot to take out the garbage. I know because she told me so.
Yeah.
I sent my friend Vlad an internet message, and he left it on red. He must hate me.
That's some mind reading for sure. There's no way you know what Vlad's thinking. Maybe he wasn't ready to answer, or maybe he forgot.
Excellent, Samuel. That's correct. There are endless reasons why Vlad would leave my messages on red, and only Vlad knows them. Reading too much into an internet message is a massive waste of time.
The Pony Express was a lot healthier, I think. This internet stuff makes people get real nutty.
Mortals are in more of a rush than we are, I'm afraid. Let us continue. One of the patrons of my club was having dirty thoughts about me. I know because I read his mind with my vampiric powers.
I mean, yeah. It's not mind reading if they tell you or if you actually read their mind.
I told our bouncer Bert a funny joke the other day. He was quiet but very amused.
How the heck would you know if Bert was amused by your jokes? That's clearly mind reading.
You are correct, Samuel. No one knows what Bert is thinking. I like to think he dreams of butterflies. But who?
I don't think he's thinking of butterflies.
Then you are mind reading, Samuel. Let Bert be Bert.
Yeah, I guess so.
I believe you now understand that mind reading may have closed the door on some opportunities for you.
I suppose. I can't really know either way, but I guess that's the point of all this. Knowing what's real and what's not.
Exactly, Samuel. So tell me, what happened to you and your brother?
You don't know already. I thought we were famous Wild West outlaws. They called us the Handsome Boys, on account of the fact that we were young and good-looking. I think we made as close to a living as possible while keeping up a life like that for some 35 years. They stopped calling us the Handsome Boys eventually. Mostly they just called us those two sumbitches.
All right.
Jeb and I married a pair of sisters, even talked about settling down in some kind of fashion. I guess we got greedy, though. One last big job, as they say in the pictures. Met this fella in a saloon who'd heard of us. Went by Ernie. He said he'd help us take down the Pioneer Missouri Bank. A take of $30,000, split 3 ways. That's about $1 million in today's dollars, but that kind of money was unthinkable back when. We got the money all right, but my brother got shot in the head. Dead before he even hit the ground. I didn't know who did it. So in my rage, I killed every soul in that bank. Ernie and I ran off with that dirty money, but weren't nothing the same after that. When she heard the news, my sister-in-law was screaming so loud she scared the coyotes away. My wife left with her that night, and I didn't see either of them ever again. Not sure I wanted to. I had $15,000 and no interest in spending it. Just sat there in a sack. When Ernie invited me to join his gang, I saw no reason not to.
Oh, I bet he shot him.
I'm pretty sure I signed that devil's contract as soon as I started killing them folks in the bank.
I am sorry, Samuel. That is a truly horrifying story. I can hear the pain in your voice. Your brother was precious to you.
Yeah. He wasn't a good man, Andy. But he kept me safe. Without him, I knew I'd be doomed. I was certain I had no choice but to join the Mystic Bastards. Yeah, I know. Cognitive distortion.
I know you know, Samuel. A new one, but I think you can identify it on your own. What is the cognitive distortion you are displaying now?
Too sure on my fate.
I was so sure I was right to join the Mystic Bastards. Ain't nobody could have convinced me otherwise.
Indeed, Samuel. This cognitive distortion is known as being always right. And when you are always right, your choices are limited, even if they lead to doom. We become so convinced that only we have the appropriate perspective, even in a world of infinite possibilities. One would expect immortals to be immune to this distortion after seeing their beliefs challenged over generations. But we are just as susceptible to being always right. Let's try some examples so you can identify when I am always right. I have the experience of ages. My authority cannot be questioned.
Okay, Boomer.
Excuse me?
Just something I hear the kids say when old mortal folk are acting like they're always right.
Okay. He called Andromachus okay, Boomer. Oh, I love it.
The folks born after World War II are real good at destroying the world, but they assume age leads to wisdom. It ain't necessarily so.
You are always right about that. Well done, Samuel. With my multi-generational economic expertise, I am confident that market conditions will result in mass layoffs in the next quarter.
That sounds about right.
I know that turning another into a vampire inevitably results in resentment.
That sounds like you're always right. I know a lot of us vampires ain't too happy with our lot in life, but we ain't always resentful.
That is correct, Samuel. Of course, we must be careful when choosing whom we turn and when. Choosing to live forever is not a choice casually made.
It ain't usually a choice at all.
But we will endeavor to break that cycle, my friend. We have enough clients already without having more resentful immortals running around. Let us continue. I know for a fact that vampires become misanthropic as they age. I do not need your perspective.
And now hold on, you ain't always right. You thinking we're gonna turn into misanthropes is limiting you from making new vampires, but that's just your thinking.
Very good, my dear Samuel. Caution is warranted when bringing a new soul into the dark, but I must consider perspectives other than my own. I have not had much good fortune with my children of darkness, but I am indeed not the only judge of character.
You got kids, Andy?
I had many dark children before I recognized the gravity inherent in doing so. I only wish more of my brethren could learn what a responsibility it is to begin the unlife of another. I know the internet is a passing fad. I have seen technology come and go, so I can trust my own expertise.
I think you're doing a little always right there, Andy. A lot of folks had unwavering confidence that the fax machine was going to stick around forever, but they weren't right neither.
Truly? I still use my fax machine. It is the preferred mode of communication among vampires here in Germany.
Heck, I guess that just proves no one is always right about technology. I think I get it, boss. If I had found folks to listen to other than myself, maybe I wouldn't have joined up with Ernie's gang.
Perhaps, perhaps not. You had plenty of reasons for making the choices you made. Reflecting on them is what helps us to grow.
Yeah, I'm a lucky fellow all in all. I did some stuff with those vampires that I was pretty sure erased any humanity I had left, but I was wrong. Them transcendentalists I hold up with were ready to help me no matter how nasty I was. And I know I've done a lot of thinking on my own, but I owe them everything.
I've done a lot of thinking on my own, but I owe them everything. Is that so, Samuel? Can you point out your own distortion there?
It's my old favorite sneaking up on me, disqualifying the positive. I did plenty of work on myself.
That's right, Samuel. And why were the transcendentalists able to help you? We just went over it tonight.
I realized I wasn't always right. I was ready to start receiving help.
Excellent, Samuel. Your capacity for self-reflection, and so quickly, is truly inspiring. I almost feel as though my blood is circulating on its own.
Oh, come on, Andy. I'm just a fella.
You have earned a reprieve from disqualifying the positive, my friend. Embrace it. I believe we have had a productive session today. Let us not press matters. This is difficult work, and you are handling it wonderfully. How do you feel?
You know, I feel okay. Somehow it's better than feeling good. What happened is what happened. Some bad stuff happened to me, and I did some bad stuff. And none of it lasts forever. That's the nice thing about having all the time in the world.
Your trials have made you wise indeed, my dear Samuel. Now rest, my friend. You shall soon share your wisdom with your clients. I wish you a good night.
Yeah, I believe it's early coffin time for me tonight. Have a good night, Andy.
You as well, Samuel. Rest in peace.
All right, round 3.
Greetings. You look a bit pale. May I offer you something to drink?
I should save.
Yeah, you got any drinker's blood?
I know you are joking. You will not dilute your blood before a session.
Yeah, I know, you're right. I just don't know who I'm meeting tonight. Is it gonna be Dr. Drain or that Lord Luridus fella?
You only met a single individual last time, and you will meet only a single individual this time. Do not let Dr. Drain's avoidance of accountability confuse you.
You saw the guy, though. Lord Luridus ain't nothing like Dr. Drain.
And why do you think that is, Samuel?
Well, maybe it's easier for Dr. Drain to blame Lord Luridus.
Correct, Samuel. A mild change in personality would be within Dr. Drain's control. Luridus is not, and therefore, Dr. Drain relinquishes control. Prepare yourself, my friend. Let us find the darkness that lives within Dr. Drain.
Okay, he does should statements. We got blaming, mind reading, always right. Yeah, I don't have all of them though. Do I want to do labeling? I think labeling will be easy enough to detect. No. Let's go for control fallacy.
All right, I think I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Do not fear, Samuel. I shall not let Dr. Drain hurt you, no matter what he is calling himself. Do what you do best.
I will, I promise. And here he comes, whoever he is today. Doc?
Somewhat taciturn today, then. Well, don't be upset with me. I did warn you about that beast. At least now you recognize the urgency in being rid of him. Perhaps now we can stop beating about the bush and actually fix my addiction problem.
I'm here to help, but if we're gonna lick this thing, we gotta do it honestly, and that means getting to the root of the problem.
I tire of this self-examination process. There must be something efficacious that I can do. Perhaps some sort of aversion therapy. I am willing to do whatever it takes to make that villain just go away.
Then you gotta be willing to address the big old elephant in the room.
And what is that?
You're the same person.
You and Lord Luridus ain't two different people. You keep talking about him like he's someone else, but you both got the same brain in there.
Complete and utter nonsense. You've met him. We share absolutely nothing in common. And what's more, I am fully aware that he hates me.
Maybe you're both in the same body. You have that in common.
Take a look at this note he left on my desk.
That's supposed to be you there with the micropenis?
Indeed. Juvenile humor, to be sure. Certainly nothing I would produce.
Ain't he got the same penis, though?
Quite so. I have no doubt he does the most terrible things with it.
So somehow he's got a different brain than you do, but the same penis. Something ain't adding up here, Doc.
I resent what you are suggesting. I have no effect on what Lord Luridus does.
Enjoy your lurk, Pickles. Has no effect.
I know you're a pretty responsible fella, but you're giving Lord Luridus more credit than he deserves.
Hey, achievement 20 distortions correct in a row.
What on earth are you talking about?
You know that old stereotype mortals like to spread about us where we can't go into a place until we're invited?
A ludicrous idea with no basis in scientific truth.
Ain't you giving Lord Luridus your permission to come in and do what he does when you take that plasma stuff?
I didn't invite him in the first time. I had no idea what I had created. That his presence would become an addiction was not known to me.
Dr. Drain, you're a scientist. Your stock and trade is in facts, ain't it? Let's leave thought out of this for now. You gotta be my scientist here and stick to what we know.
Very well. Yes. The genesis of... Lord Luridus was in the actions and choices I took. Are you quite satisfied?
Doc, we ain't here for my satisfaction. Do you really think that?
Well, the fact that I am upset right now certainly lends credence to the idea that you are trying to shame me.
Mind reading?
Let's go back to the science, Doc. Can you say with all confidence that I'm trying to shame you?
No. No, I cannot.
You can't read my mind, Doc. Or at least far as I know you can't. But if you could, you'd know what'd make me real satisfied is helping you out. I get that you're upset. This is tough stuff to face. But that don't make me a bad guy for talking about it. I'm here to help you face it. I won't lie to you, Doc. The people that Lord Luridus has hurt probably would have a bone to pick with you. But I ain't here to punish nobody. That ain't the way to help you. In this room, we're working together. You're doing the hard work, and I'm just giving you support. Catch my drift, partner?
And so you do me even greater shame through kindness. I cannot win. Perhaps I should simply let that beast, Lord Luridus, have his way with me.
Come on now, Doc. You're jumping right to doom there. There are so many ways this therapy thing could go for you. It ain't we destroy Lord Luridus or Lord Luridus wins. Jumping right to catastrophe just ain't realistic. Already you're fighting him by being here.
Exactly.
That means there's definitely something in the middle. And working together, we'll make things better. Maybe not completely better. This work ain't never done.
Of course, I am forgetting myself. I'm not usually prone to extremes. I shall attempt to be more mindful.
I ain't expecting you to be perfect, Doc. And I don't want you to expect perfection from yourself either. What I'm asking you for is self-compassion. That ain't erasing blame. It's just approaching yourself from a place of understanding. That's a scientific method, ain't it?
I doubt many in the scientific community would agree with such a statement, but I believe I understand the thrust of it. We cannot address facts if we mask them in emotionality.
That's exactly it, Doc. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Indeed. Thus my attempt to synthesize the thought properly.
Well, thank the dark powers that made us. Someone in here's the smart one.
Very well. We shall take a strategic, scientifically sound approach. We will agree upon facts, develop hypotheses, test, and validate. If I rely on the science, I will never be wrong.
Hold on a sec. Before we jump in, Doc, I gotta challenge you. Even science ain't gonna make it certain you're always right. The answers science gives you might not be the answers that are best for you. I just want you to keep your mind open, all right?
My mind is always open. I'm a scientist.
I'm just gonna reflect that back to you and see if you think that's true. You're saying being a scientist means your mind is always, without fail, open.
Well, I suppose that sounds a bit ridiculous. Very well. I shall endeavor to ensure that my thinking is flexible.
Well, sounds good to me, compadre. Let's start assembling them facts. Can I ask you some questions then?
You may. Let us begin.
All right, so you told me that the thing that makes your plasma addicting is how good it makes you feel when you wake up from it. From your scientific perspective, what makes it feel good?
From a chemical perspective, good feelings, or positive emotions, are the result of neurotransmitter action. Considering the specific emotions felt in the immediate moment are contentment and satisfaction, it is certain that I am experiencing an oxytocin and dopamine release. It is a primal limbic response. In laboratory settings, we observe a constant drive in animals towards stimulating the release of amygdala-receptive neurotransmitters.
I think you're gonna need to boil that down for me, Doc.
I did not come here to teach, but so be it. Ask your questions.
What's the limbic system do?
The limbic system functions as the emotional center of the brain, responsible for emotional responses such as joy, fear, and anger.
So it's like the part of my brain deciding if I should be scared of a rattlesnake, or happy about a belly full of blood?
Precisely. It plays a crucial role in forming memories and making decisions based on emotional experiences. Often called the lizard brain, it's evolutionarily one of the older parts of the brain, indicating its fundamental role in regulating survival instincts.
I've been called lizard brain before, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't a compliment. What's this about neurotransmitters?
Neurotransmitters are chemical messengers that neurons use to communicate with each other. For example, social bonding reliably triggers a release of oxytocin, creating a sense of security and attachment.
So if I'm reading you right, when I'm feeling all snug after a good feed, is them oxytocin neurotransmitters doing their thing?
Exactly. This process is an integral part of our brain's reward system, encouraging behaviors that are perceived as beneficial for our survival and well-being.
So, survival feels good, basically.
Yes, though I would not publish such a statement in an academic paper.
So what's all this stuff really mean in the end, Doc? Why's this neurotransmitter stuff even matter?
An intriguing question. Naturally, emotion does not have a practical evolutionary application on its own. However, these emotions signal to the reptilian brain whether or not we are under threat.
Oh, well, dang, now I think we're getting somewhere. I think the answer's right in front of us.
Oh? And what is it that your rooting, tooting brain can synthesize that mine cannot?
You don't feel safe on your own. Taking that plasma forces you to get that neurotransmitter hit.
An intriguing theory. However, evidence stands against it. Like it or not, I am a vampire. The only thing that may threaten me is the sun or a more powerful vampire. I should not be experiencing feelings of mortal danger. I am not immortal. Logically, I should know such a thing is ridiculous.
There's them should statements again, Doc. It doesn't matter what logic says. You still got that part of your brain that says it's in danger, and that part doesn't care about logic.
An astute point, and an inconvenient one. That we should be saddled with such vestigial, primal concerns is most unfortunate.
Can't avoid the fact that we still got them human concerns. At least we don't gotta poop, huh?
Oh dear, and you are doing so well. At least I have nothing to fear from you.
It's true, though. We're still animals, partner. We gotta satisfy the animal. Just not through pooping.
But we are immortal. Why do we have animal needs, fears, and emotions? What possible use do they have? It is such a disappointing notion, however, to think that we cannot transcend our reptilian brain, even when we are beyond death.
We're dealing in facts, though, and I think what we're coming to is that your reptilian brain doesn't feel safe.
Which is absolutely ridiculous. But I must admit that it is somehow true. What a devastating revelation. Dr. Drain, for all his scientific achievement, is just an emotional little laboratory rat who bases all his decisions in fear.
That's disqualifying the positive.
Doc, I want to go back to one of them things I was telling you about in our first session, and that's self-compassion. Let's say you had some vampire apprentice, a scientist like you, who didn't know nothing like what you know, and said they were down on themselves for all the reasons you are. What would you say to them?
Well, I would explain that progress is non-linear. The scientific method, in fact, celebrates failure. That which does not conform to theory still informs theory.
Any chance you could put the scientist away and talk to their human side?
Well, I suppose I would say that it is fine, that all things are temporary, and the universe does not care to condemn them.
So how can we get you to say them things to yourself, Doc?
My situation is not the same. I was trained in the age of discovery. I bear the responsibility for that age. But if this project of mine, to create the blood that will sustain the world, is not what I am here for, then what is my purpose?
Well, let me ask you. What's the purpose of a gopher?
Rodentia geomedy. Rodents endemic to North America, known for their tunneling ability and as agricultural pests. I believe they are the prey of owls, snakes, and coyotes, and are omnivorous themselves, consuming vegetables, insects, and small mammals.
I wasn't expecting you to be so thorough. I don't think I knew half that stuff.
I have come to learn nearly everything there is to know about mammalian biology as a result of my research. Please get to the point.
I think I forgot what it was now.
That is not encouraging.
Hold on a sec, I think I've got it. Gophers have a purpose. Driving people crazy, that's what. Used to wreak havoc on the farmland back in Missouri.
Absolutely ridiculous. That is not their purpose. It's an ill-informed anthropocentric philosophy defined and subscribed to entirely.
I didn't know bugs could do that.
Anthropocentrists, not arthropods. Humans. I am saying that you have created a purpose for the gopher that the gopher is entirely unaware of.
That might be my point.
So, who made your purpose, Dr. Drain?
What? Well, I did, I suppose.
So if you made it, you can change it, right?
But how can I change my purpose? I have always been a scientist. So that's what I am.
All right, well, let's take that scientific approach and try to figure out who the man behind the scientist is.
Very well. If we look at the behavior of our subject, myself, we can infer a few things. If we examine my behavior, one can draw a comparison to a threatened higher-thinking mammal. I spend much time in ensuring personal safety and security.
Mm-hmm.
What about your more peaceful moments? What do they look like?
I believe these feelings are only medically induced through my special plasma. However, Dr. Drain appears to be at rest when he is full and satisfied.
And your synthetic blood doesn't do that for you.
I am forced to admit that at present, it does not.
Dr. Drain, what do you think of drinking something a little more fresh and human?
I will not. I do not have to. That depraved vampire, Lord Lyridus, is the source of all that is base and vulgar about my person.
Doc, you're blaming Lord Lyridus for something common to all vampires, including yourself. We need blood. That's just how it is. Ain't Lord Lyridus's fault. Now, I know you ain't comfortable with that need, but you can't offload everything you ain't happy with onto Lord Lyridus. That just makes him worse.
You have not been listening to me at all if you believe I have absolved myself of all vampiric frailty.
I didn't say that. I'm saying you're distancing yourself from your needs by saying they're Lord Lyridus's needs.
Very true.
Well, what if you indulge Lord Lyridus once in a while? Maybe you could keep him from coming out.
Do you not understand what I have been working toward for the last 400 years? I will finally be able to transcend this thing that I am. I shall be a parasite no more.
Come on, Dr. Drain. You're a scientist. You know mankind ain't got that kind of control over nature. Ain't you ever seen that movie where they bring back the dinosaurs?
That film was scientific drivel. Its simplistic understanding of DNA should have alienated its audience immediately. But then, who can guess with Americans?
Touche.
It was a good story, though. And in the end, it wasn't a story about DNA. It was a story about controlling nature, which I'm sure you know ain't never worked.
Your argument does not hold weight when your source of truth is a fantasy film.
Dr. Drain, we really got to talk about some kind of middle path here. Back home, we tried the whole abstinence thing a few times, and it didn't go too well. We tried to stop drinking, and that just made people only do bad drinking. We tried telling teenagers sex was evil, and that just made them want it even more while being ashamed of themselves. What if you just tried to do some of them things Lord Lyridus does? Just don't do them the way he does.
I find the idea utterly repellent.
Yeah, but then you go and take that plasma, and Lord Lyridus makes the decisions. We don't want that, right?
Fine. Fine. I'll drink some blood. But I warn you, Sam, the price of failure is most dear. If I should lose my humanity, all of humanity will lose.
He does say the word should.
Doc, you really can't be putting the weight of the world on your shoulders. That ain't something you can control, compadre. Now, I know you're a capable fella, but the world is gonna turn with or without you.
You think so? I can't imagine someone with my highly rational mind feeling so strongly if my prediction weren't firmly rooted in fact.
I know it all seems real heavy right now. Just show yourself a little compassion and patience. Beating yourself up over a future that ain't happened yet isn't gonna help you.
I think I see here in these third round where you can mess up the game and get possibly a bad ending for somebody, because if I don't have the right cognitive distortion responses in my mind, I'm not going to respond to a lot of their statements. So there's probably like a correct set to take with me, or at least an optimized set.
We need to go back to this thing I brought up before. You're a smart fella, Dr. Drain, but sometimes you're forgetting vampire commonality. We've all felt like the world was ending, or that we're awful monsters. But them feelings are our perceptions alone.
Yes, I'm aware. Perhaps I've been a little too human in my wobbles. However, you forget my training in history. I am not an average vampire. I was trained by the great Professor William Harvey. I have had 4 centuries to unlock the secrets of animal biology. I have a duty to humanity and to my own legacy. A duty I should not fail in. Otherwise, what was it all for?
Hold your horses there, amigo. You say you've got a duty to humanity? Well, that ain't scientific at all. It ain't just anthropocentric. It's Dr. Drain-centric. Nobody said you had to do anything. Remember when we first started talking, I told you about them should statements? That's what you're doing, compadre. Just remember that them shoulds are yours.
Yes, I must be frustrating to you, Sam. I invoke the same delusions over and over again.
Hey, come on, Doc. You should be proud of yourself. You know what the difference is between you and vampires who never improve themselves?
Okay, this isn't super clear. between you and vampires who don't improve themselves. I don't know how to answer this. He's here? You're smarter than they are. You're not concerned about being cool. You're here. You're here?
You're here. You've made a commitment to getting your head on straight. And you're getting there, my friend. Already you're making some big changes and investing in yourself. I can see it. So let's cut Dr. Drain a break. How about it, amigo? He doesn't need the weight of the world on him. There's only one thing he should do, and that's have a little understanding and empathy for himself. You get me?
Yes, I get you. Very well. I shall try to keep a clear head. And I will arrange to drink some real blood. There's plenty of it in the lab. I shall just liberate some of it.
Good man. We'll talk about how it's gone next month, all right?
Indeed. Until then, Sam. And thank you for your patience.
I ain't got nothing but time, amigo. You can thank me by being patient with yourself.
All the same, you have my thanks. I shall see you in a few weeks then. Farewell.
Well done indeed, Samuel. I think we are starting to see
Ooh,
new
a
version of
flawless
the good
client
doctor in the
session.
making.
Hell yeah. It took me two full rounds until I got it.
I hope you're right, boss. That fella's awful hard on himself.
That is normal, my friend. Being a vampire takes a lot of self-acceptance. He is only taking his first steps in discovering this.
Yeah, fair enough. It took other people forgiving me for me to forgive myself.
And now you pass on this gift of compassion to Dr. Drain. Now, Samuel, the evening is still young. See what the night has to offer downstairs.
That sounds good, Andy.
Rest in peace, my friend.
I always come out of the doc sessions feeling dumber than ever. I'll check in with Crimson. She's always got some bartender's wisdom to share. Howdy, Crimson. Looks like a nice crowd tonight.
They're always a nice crowd, cowboy. We like to maintain an asshole-free zone.
I'll try not to be an asshole then.
I'm not worried about you, cowboy. You had a session tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, with the doctor fella. We had a hard talk about what being a vampire means. He's having a hard time coming to terms with it, even after 400 years.
I can understand that. I've stopped aging for the last 20 years and don't know how I feel about it yet. How do you think it went with him?
I think we're finally getting somewhere, actually. It's funny, a lot of vampires forget they're human, but he keeps forgetting he's a vampire. But just like we can't opt out of being human, we can't opt out of being vampires either.
Must have been a hard talk, cowboy. I sometimes wonder what I am. Staying the same age, drinking Andy's blood to live. Don't get me wrong, I like not being dead, but I still feel like I'm living on borrowed time.
Is this a good time to ask why you don't just join the dark side? It ain't that bad being dead.
I'm just not sure what I'd do with forever, you know? Eternity's a long time.
Yeah, I think a lot of us vampires can't answer that question either. And I don't think there's one answer anyway.
There you go. So I guess I'll keep putting off the question.
But nobody's rushing you, Crimson.
You think I'd let anyone? But thanks for listening, cowboy. Now why don't you go mingle? There's a new fella in the kink room who's very interested to meet you.
New
I guess
fella.
I'll go be social then. Thanks, Crimson. Wait a sec, that ain't...
Greetings, my child.
Keep your distance, amigo. I know our kind ain't had good history, but I ain't in the mood for an exorcism or nothing.
Ah, my child of the dark. If I were to exorcise you, nothing would be left when I was done.
Is this still Matt Mercer? Who is this? I feel like I know this name. I know this voice. Alright, here we go. IMDb page. Who is this? Alright. Okay, it is Mercer. Alright. Wait, the same guy does the voice for Sam and Maxie and Dr. Drain and Edmund and Bert and Andromachus? Damn! Wait, Sam and Maxie? Really?
Only the good Lord is free of sin. We are all children of darkness.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like Mercer. I thought that was Mercer.
Holy smokes, what Bible have you been reading?
I know my scripture, my son. However, I am by scripture and dark metal ordained, not by any church of man.
So, you're some kind of freelance priest?
Yes, I suppose I am. It is the only way I can give succor to those who need it most.
So I gotta ask, seeing as we're in a kink room, what kind of sucker are we talking about?
I follow in the path of the Lord. I share my body, and I share my blood.
Ain't this a little blasphemous for your kind?
To whom, my child? God is in everything, including you, sweet vampire. Can God blaspheme against himself? I merely wish to give comfort to those who live in darkness. And so, I choose to live in darkness with them. Come, my son. I shall give succor to you.
Well, all right. Maybe if you stop calling it that.
Thou shalt not want, my son. Are you comforted?
Yeah, I guess I am.
I know those of my faith have hunted your kind. Perhaps we fear our own sin, so we seek the sins of others. I seek only the Lord in everything, as do we all, whether we know it or not.
You ain't wrong, I suppose. Hey, a little awkward, but what's your name, fella?
I am Kieran. It means little dark one. The night always did call to me.
Kieran.
Well, Kieran, I'm Sam, and I appreciate the blood, but I'm gonna turn in. A little sleepy now.
Go with God, my child of the night.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
Huh.
A fine evening to you, Samuel. Are you ready for tonight's session with Senora Deste?
Let's take an ad break here, because we're about to pop on one. If we're not, yeah, we're about to pop into one for like a minute and change. Alright, see you in a few minutes, folks. All right, everybody, we are back. Let's hop back into it. So we just finished Dr. Drain's night. We just met Kieran. So this is going to be Senora round 3. It's going to be interesting because she was kind of coming on to me last time. So I wonder what she'll be doing this time.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're making some good progress.
That is wonderful. Remember, though, that the road to inner peace is not a straight line.
True enough. I like to say I didn't make my path. Nature did.
Samuel, you have the makings of a poet.
Oh, I meant it more literally. When I was walking in the woods, I just walked where the land led me.
But you see, this is a wonderful metaphor. If there is a valley between two mountains, that is the path nature takes us on. We often choose to climb the mountain instead when the easier path is made for us. Your experience guides your intuition more than you might expect, my friend.
Guess it's that peasant wisdom the Senora mentions.
Be careful with the labeling, my friend.
I didn't mean it in a bad way. I ain't ashamed of being a peasant. I'm just folks, as we like to say.
I can see why the Senora has become quite fond of you. Are you prepared for your session with her?
Yeah, I think with our progress, there might be some other distortions to focus on. Let me think.
Control fallacy. I do think she's going to be an always right person. Do you think she's going to have a lot of shoulds? She doesn't really blame. She doesn't externalize. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of use out of blaming. Might get some disqualifying the positive out of her, though. And there's some labeling in for good measure.
All right, locked and loaded.
The people of your country have so many colorful phrases having to do with firearms. I do not understand the obsession.
I can't explain it neither.
I shall leave you alone with the Senora, Samuel.
Howdy, Senora. Good to see you tonight.
You are looking forward to seeing me?
Well, sure I was. You're an interesting person, Senora. It's a privilege to get to know you.
I suppose you have learned something of manners yourself. I thought a lot about the things we talked about last time, you know.
Oh, yeah? What about exactly?
About how foolish I was for wasting my time for so long fighting against reality.
Now hold on, Senora. Maybe you were fighting reality some, but that doesn't mean you were wasting your time. That fighting with reality is just part of what makes you human. It's your experience, your journey that you're learning from.
But if the aim was to control my family, I failed to achieve that aim.
I mean, the failure was in making that your aim in the first place.
Yeah, but that's real all-or-nothing aim, Senora. It's easy to fail when the conditions for winning are so narrow, right?
Thank you for the stretch, Pickles. Stretching the left arm. Stretching the right. Shoulders. Ought to get up and do my legs too. One nice thing about visual novels, they make it very easy to get up and do stretches and things. I don't quite have an unlurk command, Pickles, but I do appreciate it. Hi, Bex. Well, you can unwind with a nice long day with cozy vibes and vampire therapy. We're helping a Renaissance-era lady deal with her control fallacies. So, you know, as one does.
Yes. You are, of course, correct. Would that I had listened to the simpletons in my life earlier.
Hey, don't call them simpletons.
Maybe you can start by not calling them simpletons.
I meant it as a compliment. I wish I could be a simpleton.
I'm gonna need you to elaborate on that.
I mean what I say. Look at me, with my grand plans, my status, my dynasty, and all the pain that they have brought me. Who is the true fool, me or the simpleton?
Well, what if we're not fools or simpletons? What if we're just people being people? There's a lot of room between worms and gods, Senora.
Again, you prove your pastoral wisdom.
Oh, I really am impressing her if she's cleaning up her language around me.
Well, I'm glad you've been doing some thinking. You were putting so much pressure on yourself to be the one keeping your family going. I can tell how much it was weighing on you.
I spent so long trying to fix them, trying to transform them into something that they were not. May I talk to you about my ex-husband, Sam?
Oh, I should have taken mind reading.
Of course you can. I know he gave you a lot of grief.
He hurt me deeply, in so very many ways. He was the start of all my delusions because I thought I could fix him.
Damn it, I really should have taken mind reading.
I thought Frankie was the way he was because I was not an ideal wife. That perhaps he would have been faithful if I had been as beautiful or fertile as a Medici.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a mind reading one.
I know I have been arguing with reality, as you have said, but the idea of a fruitful marriage, sanctified by God, this was the only reality I had. But that reality did not match with mine. God could not have blessed both our marriage and riddled Frankie's penis with French diseases.
Okay. French diseases, specifically.
French diseases?
We used to call syphilis the malfrance.
Okay, fair enough.
Diseases don't belong to any nationality. You sound like a certain politician from back home.
Do not insult me. Have I not suffered enough with my husband's disgusting malady? It was a painful lie to live. I could only conclude from my sorrow that God was testing me. Endlessly.
I don't think this is right.
I want to challenge you on something there. That sounds like a kind of hopeless statement. Like you're doomed to keep being tested on God's terms.
I'm surprised that worked.
Perhaps it was hopeless. As you said, Isabella d'Este and Francesco Gonzaga could not change their natures.
That's true, but here's the thing. Does that mean you were doomed, or were you just doomed on God's terms? I think this just needs a little reframing. I know you were dealt a rough hand, but it doesn't necessarily mean you were being tested. Sometimes we just gotta make do with the hand we got. What I'm suggesting is that then and now, a radical acceptance approach could have helped you.
What do you mean?
Could have been polyamorous. Could have had a secret arrangement.
You could have had some sort of secret arrangement. That was pretty common back then, right?
Oh, we did have a secret arrangement. The arrangement was that he kept secrets from me and I pretended not to know about them.
Had you ever considered talking about it?
I could not. You do not know what it was like back then. A woman, even one such as I, was always subject to her husband. I did not have a say in his affairs. I had to play the part of the good wife and mother.
Oh, that's such a should statement, but she didn't say the word.
You must understand, I only earned my significant power by playing the societal game.
But he knew you were aware of his indiscretions, didn't he?
It was hard to deny when he approached me with that rotten thing between his legs.
So why not bring the issue out in the open?
He would have become angry, I am sure. Perhaps he would have beaten me and taken away the privileges I had worked so hard to earn.
Damn it, that's another mind reading.
Perhaps it is pointless to tread over the past again and again.
I knew I should have grabbed
What
it.
has happened. It has been nearly 5 centuries. I should not let the past haunt me so.
Should.
It's a hard thing, Senora. But no matter how old we get, the stuff that happened to us when we were alive is the stuff that makes us who we are. To think you should get over it ain't being fair to yourself, and it's a challenge you created. Nobody expects you to get over your past. Heck, anyone who would have thought that's long dead now.
There is truth in what you speak. My father and mother, my husband, the Pope, even the Holy Roman Emperor, they are all very long gone. If I am true, Sam, I am still very angry about all the lies I was told. I may be harboring some resentment.
You don't say.
You will understand when I tell you of Frankie's greatest cruelty.
Oh?
I will tell you that the man, for all his fighting spirit, had very weak sperm, for he could not sprout a male seed in my womb.
What would this have been? Overgeneralization? Nosferatu thinking?
My first child was a girl. I could not have been more embarrassed, or so I thought, until I had my second child, who was also a girl. I will tell you, Sam, I was a young woman in mourning. I did not emerge from my chambers for weeks. The next time, finally, I had a boy, my beautiful Federico. He was such a charming child. He would entertain me so with his clownish behavior. May I show you a picture, Sam?
Well, sure, let's take a look.
Look at him. Isn't he beautiful? He could have been a movie star or a model today, don't you think? Admit it, he is the most handsome boy who ever walked this cursed earth.
Isabella, you are adorable. You are still in love with your son centuries later.
Well.
Why am I asking you? What do you know of beauty? Anyway, I gave all of myself to him. All my guidance, all my wisdom, and all of my love.
What did you give to your other daughters who were just like you?
Everyone said, you are doting on him. Give him some air. How dare they tell me my business? I am Isabella Deuscain. I know what is right.
Senora, I'm sure you knew what was best for your son, but ain't it possible that those people might have been able to help you? It's lonely work when you feel like you can't listen to anyone else.
Are you telling me how I should have raised my son?
I got a better sense of self-preservation than that, Senora. But you gotta admit, this Nosferatu thinking of being always right is pretty exhausting, ain't it?
Oh, that is true. And as it turned out, pointless. It did not matter in the end. Frankie, in his supreme foolishness, managed to get himself captured by the French. He ransomed himself out of prison with something more precious than all the gold in Venezia, more valuable than the Pope's seat.
His family name? His firstborn child?
He sold my son, my beautiful Federico.
Yep.
Dang. That must have been devastating, Senora. I can't imagine how painful that must have been.
No, you cannot. For you will never be a mother to a son so beautiful, so intelligent, and so pure.
Didn't your son turn out to be a shithead later on?
But that was not the end of my pain. It was not enough to take my son away. Not content to merely break me, the French, as always, needed to corrupt.
Uh-huh.
They sent my sweet Federico to a den of filth, a place where chastity went to die, straight to the crossroads of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Was it Paris or Versailles?
They sent him to the Vatican.
Wait! You think the people go to the Vatican and that's where chastity dies? Okay, you're gonna have to unpack that one for me.
The Vatican? Seems like that'd be a pretty boring place for a boy to spend time.
This was Rodrigo Borgia's Vatican.
Ooh.
It was a city of prostitutes and perverts, and he was their mayor.
Oh, I know that name. I'm so sorry, kiddo.
My poor Federico. He was a boy of a certain age. I could not have prepared him for the temptations
Rodrigo
he
Borgia.
encountered. When he finally returned to me, he was no longer Isabella Deuscain's child. He was the child of Francesco Gonzaga, an experienced whoremonger in his own right.
Hold on a sec. No longer your child? You can't think that's true. You raised that boy, and there's no way he could forget you. Maybe he got up to shenanigans out there in the Vatican, but you're only hurting yourself by erasing your influence on him. Now be honest, did he lose everything you taught him?
No. He still had an appreciation of art, for which he had some taste. And he had some political acumen, I suppose.
I'm not saying you should forget what happened to your son. That would be pretty unrealistic. But give yourself some credit for the influence you had, huh?
Exactly, Sam.
You are kind, Sam. Thank you. But it is hard to forget the child who returned to me. I am a man now, mother, he would say. I do not have to listen to you. And indeed, he did not. Which is why he died of syphilis, just like his depraved father. He did not even have the courtesy to wait until I was dead. Now do you understand why I prefer the illusion of truth and beauty I try to bring to art? My mother told me when my marriage was young, Isabella, you must pretend that all is as it should be. The truth is dark, but you must maintain your own.
I hate to say it, Senora, but I think your mama was spouting a few should statements of her own. Keeping up that illusion must have been draining.
Yeah.
That is why I tried to create my own illusions. If I depicted love and chastity in their ideal form, I could make that illusion come true.
Well, Senora, if anyone were strong enough to change the world's morality, it might be you. But I think you know the truth is that you don't have that kind of control. No one does.
Then why am I here, Sam? Why are any of us here? Are we here to eat, sleep, fornicate, and die?
I know a few folk who might say that's why we're here. It's one of them existential questions, ain't it? Here's my take, Senora. I think you're here to be you.
I certainly hope you have something more intelligent to contribute than that.
I don't really. Here's the thing, Senora. None of us is going to change the world overnight, or even in a millennium of nights. But our being here, being ourselves, swings the pendulum in a whole bunch of unknowable ways.
That is a dark interpretation of reality. Are we truly so powerless?
Disqualifying the positive?
Isabella sees imperfection as helplessness. Help her see otherwise, my friend.
That is a dark interpretation of reality. Are we truly so powerless?
What I'm saying, Senora, is not that we're powerless. I'm just saying we ain't gonna change the world on our own. Not everyone's gonna buy what we're selling, but some people are gonna get it. People are still out there talking about the art you brought to the world. Maybe fellas like me don't know who you are, and I bet that nasty Pope from your time wasn't your biggest fan. But you can't help but be an influence on people. Just not all people. Ain't that so?
I do not know if that is enough for me, Sam.
Well, here's what I think we should do, Senora. All them efforts of yours are always facing outward. How about we spend some time on you?
What do you mean?
I mean, let's work on the things Isabella Deuscain likes. Forget about the rest of the world. What are you putting in your art that's for you and not for anyone else? Is it a little embarrassing?
Hush. If you must know, it is centaurs. I like centaurs.
That's adorable and I love it.
Hey, I ain't gonna judge. Sometimes I like horses better than people too.
Yes, well, they are pleasing to look at.
Now, how about this then? Why don't you pick up a brush and paint yourself up a centaur?
I have not attempted to paint for centuries.
This is just for you, Senora. No expectations. How's that sound?
I cannot believe I revealed this thing to you.
I'm glad you did. I'm a lucky fella. I get to know an Isabella Deuscain no one else knows.
And no one else will know, or I will make you suffer. Capiche?
You got a deal, Senora. I'm here to be supportive, that's all. I hope that when you come back next month, we'll be having a nice conversation about you finding your muse.
Yes, perhaps. Very well, Sam. I do not understand your ways, but I cannot deny you have a certain untamed wisdom. I shall attempt to paint a centaur. This is not what I expected from therapy, but I shall do as you suggest. I shall see you in 4 weeks then. Arrivederci, Sam.
Oh yeah, see you soon, Senora. Arrivederci.
Goodbye.
Well, well, Samuel, you never cease to impress. Centaurs.
Congrats on the Vulpix pickles.
I don't think you're supposed to know about that, boss.
I am 3,000 years old, my friend. Horse people are somewhere at the very tip of my kinky iceberg. It is already forgotten.
Well, the Signora's pretty embarrassed about it, so I'd appreciate it if you kept it to yourself.
Signora Deste is wise to put her faith in you, Samuel. I will gently remind you that relationships between therapists and clients are highly discouraged.
Oh, come on, Andy. It ain't like that. Signora Deste is just... You're messing with me.
Of course I am. Unless...
All right, you know what? I'm going downstairs. I could use a drink.
Well earned, Samuel. Please, rest in peace.
Poor Signora. That lady's holding on to a lot of anger. Reminds me of myself as a young vampire. Pretty hot in here tonight. I think I'll get some air. Maybe I can get to know Bert a little better. Hey, Bert. How's the crowd tonight? Same old, huh? So, what do you think of Leipzig, Bert? Real fascinating architecture here. Hey, not everyone's into architecture, I get it. So what do you do for fun here? More of a homebody, I guess. Yeah, I'm a little introverted, too. Spent 90 years walking in the woods, you know. Yeah, there's nothing I like better in nature. The trees, the plants, the animals. The cities just seem so dead at night. I can tell I'm interrupting. Well, nice talking to you anyway, Bert. I'm gonna head inside.
Have fun, mate.
Hey, Crimson, how's the crowd?
Hey, cowboy. Bit busy tonight, but how'd your session go?
I think it went pretty well.
I think this lady's starting to realize what she can't control, which is a lot. She's still mad as hell about it, but I think we're getting closer to acceptance.
I know how she feels, cowboy. I feel like I wasted years of my life in DC trying to make the world a better place. But it sounds like you are making progress to me. She's got time to make her peace. That's what Andy says about you vampires.
Yep, that's true. We can take 40 years or 400, but that's up to us.
In the meantime, I'll whip something up for a hot summer night.
A blood daiquiri?
What's this now?
Blood margarita. Figured a hot-blooded desperado like you could use something cold.
Or a margarita?
Oh, mighty kind of you, Crimson. I'll let you get back to work and take this up to my coffin for a quiet night.
Night, Sam.
Now let's see, what'll help me reflect on the night? I think there's something Omar Khayyam once wrote that I can look up. Or I could watch Buster Keaton almost get himself killed a bunch.
Let's read poetry.
One of my transcendentalist friends told me about this one. I ain't too good with poetry, but this piece always stuck with me. The moving finger writes, and having writ, moves on. Nor all thy piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all thy tears wash a word out of it. Funny how people in far-off places and times always had some similar perspectives. Omar's right. You can't change the past. Life moves forward. I think that's enough for one night. Better get me some shut-eye. Got the feeling my work's gonna get harder before it gets easier.
My dear Samuel, greetings. How are you feeling tonight?
Alright, let's save again. I kind of feel like making it an early night tonight, so let's tap out here and find somebody to raid, because I don't want to do a whole nother session in 30 minutes. Depending on what the session is, it might, it could quite possibly be very, very long. So, let's see if we've got somebody we can raid into. Bunch of people playing Resident Evil Requiem. Somebody's playing A Way Out. Let's see. I'm going to get a clear look at all my options before I make a choice, but I got a good candidate. Yeah, let's see if we can raid this person. I was hanging out in their chat earlier. Yep. All right, we're going to go raid Ken here. So, thank you all for joining me. I hope you had a good night. Reminder, you can catch any of my older content over on YouTube. Also, if you want to be a bigger part of the community, I do have a Discord here. They get to see stuff before anybody else does. But if neither of those is your cup of tea, you can always jump into my socials. All my active ones are there. So, let's pop out a raid message. Let's go raid Kenarashi. He's doing a big donathon right now. So, let's show him some love. All right, everybody, take care, and I will see you again on Wednesday for some Fields of Mysteria. I'm going to jump back into that. See you later.